Hey there. Hello. How do you do? My name is Harry Wetzel. Thanks for coming. Is the 80s, darling? Indeed. It is November the 1st, 1983, the Day of the Dead. And New York seems different and new all of a sudden because now I have an exciting new job to go to starting tomorrow. I'm so excited to leave the bookstore. I'm so excited to work in a new place. I'm so excited to work with my friend Amy and my new friend Vivian. I'm so excited, so very excited to make tips. Yes, tips. I got dollar signs in my eyes like Daffy Duck. I'm so excited about all of these things that I completely forgot how much I hate even the thought of working as a waiter in a restaurant. I forgot that back in 1977, in my first job, when I was sweeping up mounds and mounds of garbage in the movie theater, you remember? And I'm sweeping up mounds of garbage and puddles of flat soda pop and piles of stale popcorn, and they mix together in this odious melange, and it's so nauseating that I right then and right there made a solemn promise to myself that I would not work in the food industry or the used food industry for the rest of my life, no matter what. I'm not going to work in a restaurant. I'm not going to work as a waiter. I'm not going to work as a busboy. I'm certainly not going to work as a dishwasher. I'm not going to work in the food industry in any capacity for the rest of my life. And I made a solemn promise to myself there in the movie theater that I would do so. I just won't do it. Well, I obviously forgot about that particular solemn promise because the next day at 4 o'clock p.m., I was there on the spot, ready to go to work with my bow tie and everything. And Vivian was there, and she was so excited. We were both so excited. Isn't this going to be fun? So, first day of work is very easy. All I have to do is trail Vivian and follow her around for the entire shift. I've got my little notepad. Everybody's got their notepad, and they warned me to how at a premium pens are. So I brought several pens of my own. I was ready. I was prepared. So I was taking occasional notes as I'm following Vivian, and we're going into the kitchen, and I'm watching her balance steaming plates of food on her arms as she walks out to the tables, and I'm learning that. And it was as easy as could be. The shift eventually ended, and first day on the job, hooray, a success. All right, second day on the job, not necessarily as big a success, but so the second day on the job, for the first half of the shift, I trail another server. I trail Phyllis, and she's very funny and very lovely. And so I'm taking notes, following her around, watching her balance, things like that. Absolutely. Second half of the shift, however, I have to go out on my own and take food orders, and negotiate the balancing act of carrying steaming plates of food out. Now, don't worry, I didn't spill or drop anything like that. It's very daunting and a little bit terrifying to carry these steaming plates of food. And if I ever had to carry more than 2 plates of food at a time, I looked like I was just learning how to walk, I guess. Yeah, well, other than that, um, The day went off fine. Right. So now, third day on the job. Well, crash and burn. Oh, twilight of the clod. Dun, 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 dun. Right. So, did you ever see a server carry 2 cups of coffee in one hand? They hold the saucer, and the cup is on top of that, and the saucer, another saucer neatly on top of that cup, and the next cup. That way, you can carry 2 cups in one hand. You can carry 4 cups of coffee. I saw a couple of servers do that, and I go, well, that looks easy. That looks fun. And it looks a little bit impressive, too. So I'm going to do that because I'm there on the lunch shift, and my first table asks for 4 cups of coffee, and so in addition to everything else, so I go out there and I balance the two, and I balance the two, and it's not as easy as it looks. So I'm going out there with my shaking cups of coffee, and I see, and I'm so focused intently on not doing anything wrong, and I see that I'm scaring the customers. Standing customers are dodging out of the way, and sitting customers duck. And I'm carrying these cups, and it looks like I think that they're going to explode any moment. So people are afraid of me. I eventually get over to the table and I put the cups down. And I put the other cups down on top of the table, and all 4 cups are on the table. And there was a collective sigh of relief from the entire room. Anyhow, the rest of the lunch shift wasn't so bad. I had a lovely couple from the Midwest, and they loved me and I loved them. We were laughing and joking and talking to each other. I got their food on time. They loved their soup, and they gave me a really nice tip when they left. I'm going, aha, that is how your day should go as a waiter. And I began to see a glimmer of hope for myself as a waiter. Yes. Well, eventually the luncheon shift ended, and then there is a lull between lunch and dinner. When a favored customer comes in, there is this beautiful senior citizen, or a really cool old guy came in, and the wait staff loves him. He shows up. His name is Harold, and he's very elegantly dressed. He's in his 80s. He's sharp as a tack, and sharp as a tack. Just fantastic. Harold, everybody loved him. All the beautiful young women wait staff were doting on him lovingly. Vivian introduced me to Harold, and he was so cool. I felt honored to meet him. It was lovely. And eventually, it's time to bundle silverware and fold napkins because the dinner shift is coming up. Well, so the dinner shift itself started off on a moderately slow trickle, and then it started to pick up right away. And so I'm moving along. I'm moving along pretty good. I'm covering my tables, and then I've got this 2 top that suddenly has a couple of friends show up, and now they're a 4 top, and they want to order another bottle of wine. So the 2 people who had already just finished the bottle of wine is, I see. So these 2 drunk people wants to become 4 drunk people. Isn't that lovely? All right. So I go get their booze. Pick up, and the chef is very upset, always upset. I don't take it personally when he screams at me, because that's just how this dude functions. Right, pick up. He's always filled with rage, but he wants his food to be taken out at the moment that it's ready. I understand. He's a perfectionist, or at least a grouch, anyhow. So I'm maintaining my tables, and then the drunken 4 top has 2 more friends show up, and now they want to be, this 4 drunk people wants to become 6 drunk people. Hallelujah! So I go get their liquor, and then I'm maintaining the other tables, and now I am waiting tables at a slow trot. Yes, I'm hanging on. I'm not hanging on for dear life yet, but I am just maintaining, shall we say. Yes. And I guess I must be looking a little bit flustered or something because Vivian sees me at one point. She says, "Hang in there, baby." And I realize I must look like that cat hanging from the rope. Anyhow, at this point, the drunken six top becomes a drunken eight top, and they want another bottle of wine immediately. And I'm like, I'll go get that. And I go back to get it, and the chef screams at me, "Pick up, pick up!" Oh, there's a couple of orders that and I had to get that out there. So I take that out to this other table. I'm still maintaining, and it wasn't that long. They had to wait. They're fine. Everything's good. I'm covering my tables, and I'm going back to the kitchen. And the eight top says, "Where's our wine?" And I'm like, it's coming out of your mouth. But I'm like, sorry, I'll be right back. And so I go to get their wine, and I bring it back, and they say, "We want to order immediately, and we want our food as soon as possible. We're starving." All of a sudden, they're starving. So I take their orders and I rush it back to the angry chef, and then I've got a couple of them. "Pick up!" And I get a couple more, and I'm maintaining. Actually, in spite of this obnoxious, belligerent group of drunken eight top, I'm covering all the rest of my tables. Fine, but I am still just hanging on because there's a lot of tables. I'm doing the hustle, but I'm getting by. Then it's time to trundle out the food to the eight top, and all hell breaks loose because I'm not going to take 8 dishes, and they don't allow you a cart. So I balance 4, and I do the balancing act. I don't spill any, don't worry, and I go on out there. But however, I put down the food, and the food, and I put the salmon in front of the wrong patron, and this enraged them for some reason. And I'm very apologetic, and he won't take that for an answer. And he looks at me square in the face, and he says, "The service in this place is really lousy. Did you notice?" And my jaw dropped. And I, too late, realized that you can't reason with belligerent drunks. There's nothing you can do. I was still apologetic, and I just got the hell out of there. I had 4 more plates. "Pick up!" And I go into the kitchen, and there was these other 4 plates, and the chef is screaming, "Pick up!" And I screamed back at him. I said, "I'm doing the best that I can!" And I look over, and at that moment, the big boss, the fella from the right stuff, he's standing there. He saw the whole thing. I go, "Ooh," right in front of the big boss, not too smooth. So I get those 4 plates, and I get them out there in front of the right people, but they're still miffed at me for what the hell wrong. I don't know. You know what I mean? I am working really, really hard for these people, and I made one mistake. Anyhow, they're mad. I don't care. I've got my other tables. They're taking care of me, and I'm taking care of them. Well, comes time to pay the bill. It's $180 in 1983 money. That's over $350 today, and they completely stiffed me on the tip. I wonder how some people sleep at night. Anyhow, so as I'm dealing with that, the boss comes out, and he escorts the still angry crowd out into the lobby and out of the restaurant, and he's apologizing to them. And as I see him walking out, it looks like he's talking to his chums. This looks like, is this a setup? I don't know. All I know is after that, he came back in the restaurant, and he poisonously put his arm around me, and he took me over to the side. And he said, "Harry, you don't got enough experience to work in a place like this. You don't got the right stuff. I'm sorry, we're going to have to let you go." And so I looked at him, and you know what I said? I upstretched my arms, and I said, "Food to the left of me, food to the right of me, Food all around. Thank heavens I was just fired from a restaurant. No, I didn't actually say that. I didn't even think of it till later on. And if I had thought of it then, I probably wouldn't have had the nerve to say it. So he let me go, and Amy and Vivian had heard, and they came over. They were very conciliatory, and they said, "Order a big dinner, order a big meal. He won't make you pay for it." I said, "Right now, I don't really have an appetite." They said, "Get a drink, order a drink," and I said, "Okay, I will order a drink." And I had a Manhattan for my parents. Their favorite booze on booze together. Yeah, so I had a Manhattan for my. I knocked it back pretty quickly because I didn't want to hang around. So I walk out. I say goodbye to everybody. I walk out through the lobby, which has a beautiful statue in it. A lady, and she's maybe holding a lamp, so it's a statue and a lamp or something. Anyhow, it was donated to the restaurant by Lionel Barrymore himself. By Lionel Barrymore, yes. Anybody out there know who the hell Lionel Barrymore is? If you do, comment. If you do, like and share it out to your friends who would know or care who Lionel Barrymore was. Yes. So I walk out past this, and thank you. So I walk out past this statue of the lady that Lionel Barrymore donated to the museum, to the restaurant, and I walk out into the dreadful night. It's New York City, and I walk over to Broadway, and I look around, and I am unemployed. I don't have a job. I don't know what I'm going to do now. I don't. I just quit that other job on zero notice. I can't go back there. I don't want to go back there, but they're mad at me anyway, so forget it. I don't want to go back to Sherry Lehman. You know, beautiful Sandra might even hire me, but I still don't want to work there. I don't want to work at a bookstore or a booze store right now at all. So you know what I do? I'll tell you what I do. I'll tell you next time. So thank you for coming. And please tell everyone you know. And I so look forward to seeing you again.